Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Do you like my hat? I got it at Goodwill. It actually matches my outfit. Look, it's so cute. I know it's kind of silly, but look, isn't that cute? Anyways, I thought I'd show you guys. I thought it was cute. I have a question for you, and this is a very serious question. What religion was Jesus? And don't say Christian, because he wasn't a Christian. As a matter of fact, Christianity did not become part of the Jewish sect until after the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And it gained legal status with the Roman Empire through the Edict of Milan in 313 AD, and became the official state religion under the Edict of Thessalonica in 380 AD. So if Jesus wasn't a Christian, what was he? Because everybody who thinks that Christianity is the best needs to understand that Christianity came from the Roman Empire. And I know people won't believe me, and I don't care if they believe me or not, but that's the truth. When Jesus was out there doing his ministry, he was doing a lot of things that Christians do not do today. He was meditating. He was using Reiki, which is the laying of hands on people, using the life force energy that's around us. But nowadays, if you talk to anybody about that kind of stuff, they look at you like you're crazy. But that is exactly what Jesus was doing. He was talking to people about becoming one with God. Now, I'm reading a couple of books, and I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I want to read something to you. Many are the comparisons between mysticism and religion, with some people defining the two as being the same thing, but there are clear differences in the sense that we will expose here. In the majority of religions, all of the answers are given to the followers. These answers are accepted as absolute truth without necessarily having first-hand experience into the supposed truth. This belief-based knowledge is not okay, no, you don't have to go, I don't have to read that part. Many devotees of these religions develop an unshakable faith for their religion and its teaching, becoming highly conditioned and blind. In religion, authority is always in the third person. It is never in the student's first-hand experience. This belief-based religious methodology has led many devotees astray in the past. Now, a lot of people who claim to be religious do not end up experiencing oneness with God. They may have experiences that can get them close to God, but it's not something that they experience on a consistent basis. Here's something else I want to read to you. Hang on a minute. I gotta find it real quick. Our worldview, influenced by society and by the environment, circumstance, and surroundings of our lives, dictates if we live by the prism of sadness or happiness. Period. That's all I'm going to read of that. Jesus taught about being one with God. One with God. He did not talk about having to follow laws. He talked about letting him in. Letting God into your heart. Letting God decide whether you're happy or sad. not letting your surroundings decide whether you're happy or sad. Nowadays, we have so many things in this world that truly will make us depressed. But when you have oneness with God, depression doesn't exist. Because you know that your relationship with the divine is stronger than anything that can come against you. That's what Jesus was teaching. Now, mysticism is what I believe that he was, either a mystic or a Gnostic, or maybe a combination of all of the ancient religions. But Christianity, no, he wasn't a Christian because Christianity did not exist. Sorry, I had a timer going off. It didn't exist. So if Christianity did not exist, why do we not look at the other ancient religions as a form of connecting with the divine? In 391 AD, the fire of Alexandria burned most of the religious texts that were historical religious texts. Well, that was only, 11 years after the Roman Empire said that Christianity was the official religion of Rome, or became an official religion in Rome. By the way, that's when they stopped feeding the Christians to the lions. So if the Roman Empire was feeding Christians to the lions, why did they decide that that was the religion? Unless they changed it. Unless what they decided was that you needed to come to us in order to have connection to God, and you're not. And again, it goes back to the way religious institutions are today. You go to them to get your divinity, and you're not even really divine because you have to do actions or do acts of kindness for others to show that you're really connected to God, and that's not true. Jesus preached in the Bible that God is within us, that the kingdom of heaven is within us, not outside of us. It's in us and all around us. But yet we let the experiences that we have separate us from God. I've started believing that because we are all one. Now, let me read you something else. This is what Gnosticism is. Or when I did that yesterday, I said, what's the difference between mysticism and Gnosticism? And Google kept saying, the difference between mysticism and narcissism. I was like, no, I don't need narcissism. I know what a narcissist is. Trust me, I got that down packed. Anyway, so I had to call it Gnosticism in order for her to actually pick it up. But Gnosticism is an ancient collection of religious ideas emphasizing that secret intuitive knowledge, or gnosis, is the key to escaping the flawed material world and returning the human spirit to its divine source. Period. We escape this realm to connect to God internally because we have his spark within us. And institutions do not teach that today. They say God lives in your heart, not in your mind. Well, God should be living in everybody's mind. And I truly believe that the experiences that we have, although they currently separate us, because people who have had an experience can in some cases pass judgment on somebody if they've not experienced that themselves until they experience that themselves. But our experiences, because we all have the divine spark in us, are supposed to connect us, not destroy us, and not separate us. When we can realize that what we are experiencing on an event status, whether it be a bad relationship, whether it be somebody gets injured, whether it be an elderly parent, when we can realize that we've all experienced the same thing, literally, just in different forms, in different ways, with different people, it connects us. And we should be able to give a sympathetic ear and show compassion and empathy and love to everyone, not just the people in our group. Anyways, please like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.